Okay. Before I start, I actually want to ask you a quick question. How many of you know the tallest building in the world? Raise your hand. Okay, great. It's the smart crew. I couldn't see really clear, but it seems like most of people know that. It's Burj Khalifa. And another question is how many of you, as we are sitting here, know who maintained the Milpitas water system? Nobody knows. I didn't know either before yesterday, and I checked that it was Christian. You check the website. Christian, if you're here, thank you so much for doing all of this. That silence may kind of indicate something. Sometimes we always see visible, the landmark of the cities and the place of interest, but sometimes we forgot the invisible, all this human behind of the thing. And this is what I want to talk about today, the visible and invisible. I was born in a middle-sized city in China called Hefei. This is my photo with my grandparents. And when I grew up, I was surrounded by skyscrapers, the buildings. If you've ever been to any Asian cities, it's all about the skylines. So I feel the city was always defined by the skylines, about the tallest building. And it is beautiful, and I still love it. But when I grew up, my practice as a designer taught me the city is not only defined by its height, it also defined by its depths. So beneath the city, there's a hidden system. The water, power, electricities, and waste. And most importantly, human. The human hands that sustain how we live now. Beyond my work as a designer, I'm actually a textile artist. So I weave hours by hours. And every time I look at the fabric, there's a beautiful pattern on the surface. But when you flip over, there's another hidden fact. The knot, the lost end, sometimes I want to get rid of it, but they're always there. The same as our cities, there's a lot of hidden things behind of it, a lot of human behind of the thing that we have never seen. When I design, I love use weaving as a metaphor. And today, I want to invite you to collectively think about it with me, about the invisible human effort behind of the system. And I will share 3 stories. Several years ago, I worked around Boston, Chinatown, when I was a student. So think about you're working inside of Chinatown. There's a neon light, the smell of the steaming bakeries. It's not really good if you're hungry. And the glossaries overflowing with bai chai or bitter melons. But beneath that is a whole wastewater system, the pipes. So our researchers did a research on how to use the wastewater to detect the virus during COVID-19, and we'll dig into it before the real number released. What we found out is actually reveals how Chinatown is experiencing. It's a spot of risk. But data alone couldn't tell a lot of stories. When we look inside the storage system and look inside how the restaurant be located, we couldn't really tell the story because this is pure numbers. The numbers raise and drop, but what exactly people experiencing during the crisis and how they live their lives? So I run a workshop with the residents. With them, we put the data sheet and also a map of a neighborhood alongside each other and ask a question. What does this number mean to you? That's when the human dimension coming in. As some of us may know, that Chinatown have a long history of immigration, the people resilience and survive inside, with their lives, with the food and culture shifts. And today, when we're looking to Chinatown during COVID, there's an alternative things there. So people using WeChat to share the information when the official content legit. And then the elderly, even they're overcoming difficulties, they still deliver the food to each others, so nobody left behind. And the restaurant's still running when people are vanishing. On the paper, data may make Chinatown a hotspot, a place of risk. But when the residents interpret the data, it's turned around. It's not only about infection, but about resiliency, solidarity, and care. So every time when I think about this project, I remind myself, systems are not just about data, they're people. And it is human effort that gave data its meaning. Let's jump to the second one. I want to ask you a dumb question. How many of you using ChatGPT, Google Maps, and Instagram? Can you show your hand? Oh, there are even people not using it. I'm curious. Yeah. So every day we talk a lot, especially in Silicon Valley, about new features, exciting AI. As a designer, I'm also a part of it. I was always excited about the new things coming out. Back to 2024, I started a project with an organization. Not look at these new features, but the people behind of all these apps. They call themselves micro workers. There's a truth. Behind of an app, there's 1,000 workers working behind of the algorithm, and you never see them. They may sit in a cyber coffee, their bedroom, or even on the street, in Manila, Mumbai, or Nairobi. And these micro workers, every day sitting in front of the laptop, they open their laptops, and then they define, is this a cat or not a cat? And they see thousands of violent videos, so you don't have to. So during this project, I interviewed some people living there. There's a lady from South Africa told me, sometimes I work for 2 hours, sometimes I work for 8 hours a day or even more. But it sustained my life with the grocery cost. She shared with me her life. Every morning she wake up and she sent her siblings to the school, and then she logged in and opened her laptop. There's thousands of gray boxes floating on her screen. Sometimes it's an easy one. It's labeling the traffic light. Sometimes it's an unsettling one. She needs to decide if the content is proper to read or not. She told me she every day opened the currency exchange and conversion apps to check the currency rate because it was fluctuated. And then she also jumped into the local forum to talk with people how to hack the system, how to earn more money from it, because she feels she didn't get equally paid. But she also told me she's lucky. She feels this is life-changing because she don't need to worry about unemployment and she can work more independently. And this kind of agency gave her more freedom as a person. But also she has her own frustrations waiting. Sometimes she said, I did all the works, but money, it seems like vanishing in a black box. Several weeks later, a small amount of money went into her wallet, and she opened it and found no explanation why it got delayed. What we designed for her is a more transparent system for payment. Even we use the stable currency to help her to get equally payment. There's a lot of feature design around it, but this is not what matters the most to me. What matters the most is she find her dignity. She told me, I want to treat as a people, as a person, not just a clique. So every time when I think about this, I think about the human effort behind of the things, about all the equity behind of it and how we treat people. And every time I remind myself, design with emerging technology is never just about the algorithm. It's about the people training, guiding, and sustaining the system. Let's go to another totally different thing, a music festival. Now it's silent here, but I want you to close your eyes to think about yourself immersed in a music festival. There's a chaotic music. You dance shoulder by shoulder with your friends, and then you drink bottles of beers and alcohol, maybe the cocktails. But there's something beneath it, and some hidden magic we have never seen. All the emissions around us, and even something visible, the piled plastic on the ground. This is a fact, and we all hear about it. And people kind of packed inside of the planes flying to the music festival, and there's an endless traffic jam. So last year, I did a collaboration with a music festival called Above and Beyond Group Therapy. We did an extra immersive experience, and we wanted people to see this fact, see the things invisible around them. What we're designing is a customized program. So you enter your information, you enter the way you get to the music festival, and then they're going through an experience that you can actually see the emissions you're having and also the invisible data around the waste. And there are some clips around it, and people use this extra immersive experience. Yeah, show on the site. What matters to me the most is not about the experience itself. It's actually about the act people taken after the experience. I saw some fans start to share rides, and people voluntarily picking up the trashes after music faded out. Not all the people doing this, but there are some small effort emerging from this little reminding, this little experience. And it kind of makes me think about the festival isn't about the hidden cost. It's about the hidden agency, the small choices made by each of us bend the curve of impact, and we are part of it. This experience taught me design with technology, even in joy, is always about people, about individuals' power to bend the curve. Beyond my work as a designer, again, I'm a textile artist. And every time I spend hours in front of a loom to make a beautiful pieces, and I gradually realize the strength of the fabric isn't coming from the beautiful pattern in the front, but from the thread beneath, the hidden thread that hold everything together. The same thing for our city, technologies and celebration. It's all about this hidden human behind of it, and we are part of it, and we can all contribute to it. So next time, when you drink water, when you open an app, or you lost yourself in the music, ask yourself, which stitches am I missing? Whose hands actually hold all the things together? Because when we choose to see, when we choose to listen, we don't just review the system, but with the human ones. Thank you.